What's up, everybody? It's Ahmed with A. Roberson Photo, A. Roberson Media, and I'm here to show you the top 5 reasons why I decided to switch from Adobe Premiere Elements 2019 to Filmora 9.5. Jumping into Filmora 9.5, I'm going to show you the number 5 reason why I decided to leave Premiere Elements 2019. If you go to the Media tab in your project media, you have sample videos, you also have sample audio. In the sample videos over in the media, you're offered so much more than what Premiere Elements has to give. For example, if you look at this countdown video, let's see. Countdown or count up rather, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. Let me stop that one and try another. I think these are very awesome, pretty cool, and the options that they give you, I mean, there's so many to choose from, whereas if you look at Premiere Elements, it only has one to offer, and it is a countdown video. But let's see, go to Project Assets, drop down New Item, and Universal Count Leader. And you have this, which is pretty cool. I like it, but it's all that you have. And I've looked into Premiere Elements as much as I possibly can, and I can't find anything beyond this. There's also great audio that's given, and I know Premiere Elements has audio to offer as well, and they're by some great artists also, but I think the music offered here, it's pretty good. It's pretty good music. I like it. And again, you have such a great variety of music to choose from, where I know Premiere Elements has a lot of good music to offer, but I just don't think the variety is as good. And although Premiere Elements does offer music sampling before you actually drag it to your timeline, I think Filmora's music is a little bit more interactive. It's pretty cool. It actually shows you the artist that created the music, which is cool. Give credit to the artist. I like that. I think that's pretty good, pretty decent. But overall, you get so much more, so many more tracks, so many more different sounds effects, and so on and so forth. Let's see, the cinematic horn. That's pretty awesome. Cuckoo clock. I mean, who doesn't love the cuckoo clock? You got your camera snap. I think that's pretty cool. And Premiere Elements does have sample audio to offer, but again, I don't know. I mean, it's cool. Not gonna lie and act like it's not good, but overall, I think I prefer the audio samples that Filmora gives in comparison to Premiere Elements, which seemingly only offers music, as opposed to Filmora offering music, sound effects, ambient sound, so on and so forth. My number 4 reason for switching over to Filmora 9.5 from Adobe Premiere Elements 2019 is, as simple as it may seem, audio controls. For example, if you drag some music onto your timeline and the song starts to play, as the song plays, if I want to lower the audio or increase the volume of the audio, I can do so without interrupting the play of the audio. It plays straight through regardless of if I move it up and down, start, stop, start, stop. The audio is going to play all the way through. But if I do the same thing in Adobe Premiere Elements, let me drag a track over to the timeline here. When I start to play audio in Premiere Elements, or even if I'm adjusting the audio of my voice or any type of audio format, while I'm trying to adjust the audio while it's playing, it always pauses no matter what I do. I've tried keyboard shortcuts, I've tried everything that I can think of, I've done some research online, and I just can't find a way to make it work any smoother. But if I hit play and every time I try to adjust the audio, it pauses. Then I have to restart it, hit play again, check my volume, lower my audio again, and then hit play again. And that ruins my workflow. It takes away the smooth fluidity of my workflow that I need. My number 3 reason for switching over to Filmora 9.5 from Adobe Premiere Elements is transitions. Now, while Adobe Premiere has very smooth transitions, they're somewhat limited, where I find the transitions in Filmora is way more to choose from, and they're pretty smooth, and I think they're current, up to date with today's times. And what I mean is, let's say I'll drop a video clip in of myself, and as I play through this video, let me just lower the volume because the volume in this video isn't important, but I'm just gonna play through a little bit really quick, scrub through rather, and oops, let's see, let me lower that. Scrub through a little bit, and if I pause and cut and just move this, yep, made a cut, right? So now what I want to do is I want to go to my transitions, and if I wanted to do a warp transition, let me go ahead and give this a shot. Let's see if I like this one. Pretty cool. And I know Premiere Elements offers a warp transition just the same, but you have so many different transitions that are actually cool. I like this orb transition. I found it to be pretty cool. Let's try that. That's pretty cool. You have so many to choose from. Let's see what this blurry roll looks like. That's different. That's pretty cool. I like that too. But there's so many to choose from. It's like playing with a new toy almost. There's so many different options. And again, I know Premiere Elements offers lots of different transitions as well, but I found some of them to be somewhat, I guess, gimmicky. And that's not to say that some of them in Filmora are not what I would consider gimmicky either. But again, I just think, let me lower this volume here. I think these are just cooler. Let's see. So let's stop right here, put a cut in, and we go to transitions. The cross dissolve is always good, but let's see. Play through. Did it even work? Oh, it didn't even work. Let me try that again. Dip to black. That's always cool. Let's see. Play through. Yeah, that's a smooth fade transition, but that's pretty basic. Let's do the spin away. 1 second. They're cool. They're pretty standard. And if you look through these, they have the spin, they have the doors, cross dissolve, iris box, so on and so forth. But their warps, only one that I actually found myself liking is the roll, which is kind of cool, but that's pretty cool. But the other ones in that same palette of blends or transitions they're okay. I think Filmora has more to offer in regards to transitions. The number 2 reason why I decided to switch to Filmora 9.5 over Premiere Elements 2019 is LUTs. If you go to the Effects tab, you'll notice Filmora 9.5 has 26 preloaded LUTs. You have your ultra favorite teal and orange LUT that the masses seem to love so much, and it actually looks really good, to be completely honest. But if I start with my edit, and you'll watch the, oh, let's speed that up a little bit. Watch the transition from my edit over to the LUT. I like that color scheme. I think it looks pretty cool. But if we get out of there and go back to what I found to be a pretty cool favorite of mine, is the Mission Impossible LUT. I think the color scheme on the Mission Impossible looks pretty good, and I might use it going forward. Look at that. Look at that color scheme. It's a little greenish, bluish type of color to it. Almost looks like the teal and orange color, but I like that LUT, where Premiere Elements has no LUTs whatsoever. So there's no need for me to bring up Premiere Elements and try to do a comparison. I mean, they have built-in colors. Matter of fact, they do have a built-in color palette, which is okay, but let's see, where is that color palette? You have your red, blue, and green channel with the preloaded colors. They're not necessarily LUTs, but I mean, that looks pretty cool. That's comparable. That's a little harsh. Oops. Let's speed that up a little bit. Don't like that look. Don't like that look. That's okay. That's passable. But I don't think it's a direct comparison to the LUTs that come with Filmora 9.5. And my number one reason for switching over to Filmora 9.5 over Adobe Premiere Elements 2019 is GPU acceleration. If you go to File, Preferences, and Performance, you actually use your GPU to process your videos, to render, export, save your videos, whatever you want to do with your videos. You actually get to use the GPU instead of the CPU, whereas Adobe Premiere Elements does not offer the option for GPU acceleration. You actually have to upgrade to Premiere Pro in order to use GPU acceleration. And what does that mean for me? For me, when I'm using Filmora 9.5, when I render my videos, process my videos, export my videos, they're going to use my GPU to get through all the graphics processing, which takes a heavy load off of my CPU. With Premiere Elements, every time I want to export a video, render a video, as soon as I hit render or export to share my video, you can hear my CPU speed up to 100%, and that puts a lot of strain on my system. If I am to do anything other than let the video process, it could cause my system to crash. And I think I have a fairly hefty system. I have a i7 6700 CPU at 3.4 gigahertz. I have 16 gigs of RAM. I have an SSD to process my videos, the solid state drive instead of a typical spinning hard drive. And I also have the GTX 970 NVIDIA card, but the GTX 970 is useless for the most part in Premiere Elements because of the fact that it doesn't use the GPU acceleration. But in Filmora, everything processes so much quicker, and again, it takes the strain off of my CPU. So those are the top 5 reasons why I decided to switch to Filmora 9.5 over Adobe Premiere Elements 2019. Of course, Filmora has a whole lot more to offer, but I didn't want to get into that. If you like my top 5 reasons and you actually agree with me, or you don't, if you have something to show me that I may have missed in Premiere Elements 2019, please let me know in the comments. But if not, and if you like the video that I've created, please give me a thumbs up. You know, I always appreciate those. And as I said before, and I say again, please leave a comment. Let me know if I'm on the right track or if I'm completely wrong. I love to hear from you. And as always, I will reply back to every comment that I get. Might not be it right away, but I'm going to do my best to get back to you. And lastly, most importantly to me, is consider subscribing. If you like the video content that I'm creating and you find it useful, please subscribe for more, because I release a new video once every week. This is Ahmed with A. Roberson Photo, A. Roberson Media, and I'll see you in the next video.